to the channel for another video for you guys. Simon's Side of Football. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'd be much appreciated. So I'm doing this video a little bit later than usual. I usually post between around 9 or 10. This one's going to probably be the afternoon a little at some point. Sorry about that, guys. I do like to try keeping it similar sort of times. So yeah, first we're going to talk about Sonny first. LAFC are interested in Sonny. I think he will end up. I think he might actually go there. I think this one's gathering a bit of pace. I don't think it will happen before the tour, because I think Spurs will lose up to 75% of their money they're going to gain from going to South Korea. So I can't see it happening after. I mean before, sorry. But I do see it happening after. I do think this will happen. There's a few reasons why I think Sonny, not even if it's not LAFC, I do think Sonny will go. I think a few things. Well, when Thomas Frank said he done his first interview and he was asked about the captaincy, would Son be captain, and Thomas Frank said he's not sure yet, and as you know, he will make the final decision, but he has not made that mind up. That sort of rang alarm bells for me, because for me, you know, he's been captain for a couple of years now at Spurs. He won a trophy being captain, so why wouldn't you keep him as captain? I know managers sometimes have different thoughts in who they would like as a captain, but I think if they did, you know, to not upset the apple tree, as you say, you probably would have just kept that one and add Sonny as captain. So straight away I did think maybe he is going to be off on his way. They're not really going to announce too much before the tour, because he's going to have to go on this tour at the end of the day. It's nothing's going to, I'll be very, very surprised if it happened before the tour. So yeah, I think Sonny will end up going. I don't know, but I think he will. In my opinion, I think he will. You know, and good luck to him. He's been a great servant for this club. You know, him and Ben Davies have been here the longest time now. He's loved the club. He's been he's won that trophy now, helped win that trophy, got that over the line, what he always wanted to do. That's his one thing he had missing, and he done that at the end of last season. So I think it's probably the right time for him to leave now. You know, he has declined the last few years, especially since Harry Kane has left. He's sort of gone and declined, which it happens in footballers, but it happens at different times, and it just looks like I think he is on the decline. You know, when we played Reading last week, he didn't look right. It just, I don't know if this sort of transfer, sort of not knowing about his future, really over his head. I know he did come out and say he wants to stay for this final year, but I do think he will end up going. So that's Heung-min Son, and we all wish him well. I'm sure every Spurs fan will wish him well. You know, what a great servant he's been to the club. So I will keep letting you know if anything develops on that. But for me, I don't think too much will happen after the tour. But I think it will accelerate quite quickly after the tour. Other news is not a lot really. Morgan Gibbs-White he's gone back to Forest's camp in Portugal now. He went last night. Reports I see today on X. So he's gone out there. So that doesn't look like that deal could be any closer than what it was. You know, Forest were trying to give him, pretty much offering him out to everyone, and Man City come out and said they're not interested in him now. So it sort of does leave the door open. I think Forest will have to just sort of bite the bullet in the end. You know, he's going to go, so I think the deal will get done. I'll be surprised if Tottenham don't end up having him. But we will have to wait and see. Reports at Spurs are looking at Manuel from Manchester United. So there's links with that, or apparently the player wants to come. He was at Tottenham, I think, and he was very young. I might be wrong there, but I'm sure he was at Tottenham when he was very young. I might be wrong. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. We're still looking at Paulinho. We need that centre midfielder, but the problem is Spurs are saying they have to sell first. They need to get rid of one of their midfielders first. Just go and get the player. If we need the player, just go and get him. You know, it's obvious we need like a number 6 who's going to sit there and put his foot in and control the midfield. If we, just go and get the player. It's at the moment, there's no real, Basuma's sort of not coming out saying, I want to leave. So well, things might materialise more after the tour, but I can't see any more of the players really leaving before the end of the tour, because we go away next week. You never know, though, transfers do happen quite quickly, so we'll have to wait and see there. So yeah, not much other news on transfers really, what I've seen for Tottenham. We got Luton on Saturday. Also, I think Thomas Frank has put another friendly in there on Saturday as well, or just before. Not sure it was. I've only just sort of seen that, but yeah, he did has come out and said that he wants all the players to play as many minutes as he can, so they're all fresh and ready for the season and all match fit. So we'll have to see how we get on in both games this weekend, and then we go on to South Korea early next week, and we'll be playing, I think it's Arsenal first, I believe. I think it's Arsenal first, or was it Newcastle? I can't remember. I believe it's Arsenal first. So that's towards the end of the week. I think that's like next Thursday or Friday, and that'll be the first game. But you know, we need to get some players to the door. You know, you see Arsenal, you see Liverpool, you see Man City, you see Chelsea. They're all making a lot of signings, big signings. You know, Chelsea are getting, looks like they're getting Xavi Simons, and they're getting Hato as well. So two big players they're getting. You know, they're both young players, but they're very good players, and they're just getting people, you know, over the line. You know, they've got João Pedro, they've got, who else they've got? Gittins. They're making so many signings. Same as Man United, they've got Umbremo now. You know, they've got Kuna. They're looking for a striker. You know, Chelsea, Man City had got their business done early. Arsenal now got Bucharest. You know, they're still looking for players, and we are being just left behind. So, you know, maybe we can go and get a Wissa. You know, it's a lot of money for him. You know, with a year left, they want like 50 million for him, and he's got a year left on his contract, nearly 29. So I do think that deal is quite difficult. I can't see Tottenham paying that sort of money for Wissa, but we'll see. Maybe if they lower their price, maybe around 30, 35, Spurs might be interested, because the player would prefer to go to Spurs. Newcastle are in the driving seat, but he would rather go to Spurs. He's had to come out and said that, but if not, he will end up going to Newcastle. And then there's still, you know, other reports about Garnacho maybe coming to Spurs, but I do think that depends on Son. I don't think we'll get a left-sided player unless Son goes, so I don't think that will happen until after the tour. As I said just about Rodrigo, that no chance going to Tottenham. Like I said, it was wide of the mark. Other reports come out yesterday say it was wide of the mark. Spurs were never going to get Rodrigo. Absolutely no chance. People who believe that could happen, you know, it's just wishful thinking. It was never going to happen. So, yeah, we just need to get these players in. Really, it's just getting frustrating now. I think you guys must be all frustrated. You know, you see all these other clubs making signings. You know, we're getting left behind. You know, it's going to be a difficult start to the season with Thomas Frank coming in and getting his ideas across. You know, we've got Champions League football this year. We're going to have a lot of games, and we just haven't got the quality to fight on all four fronts where we want to fight on all four fronts. Thomas Frank said it, our chairman said it. If you're saying it, you know, Daniel Levy, go out and get these players what we need. Well, that's it for this video today. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.